Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about the 5 signs she's still thinking about you. So if you're wondering if your ex is still thinking about you or perhaps some crush is still thinking about you, then this video is for you, okay? These 5 signs are that she is still thinking about you, okay? So one of the big ones, right, and this is like the main one, this is the big fat juicy one that will tell you basically that yes, she is still thinking about you, is if she reaches out to you out of the blue, just completely randomly, and the message that she sent you is really positive. So she's asking about you. She's like saying, hey, how are you? What have you been up to? Right? She's asking about you. Now, if she messages you out of the blue and says, can I get my stuff back? Or when can you pick up Timmy from football practice? Because maybe you've got kids together, then that's not the best sign, because that's what the message is about. It's about she's trying to get something out of you, right? Or whatever. So the best kind of message is when she's just inquiring about you, just seeing how you are, right? And it's only about that. And it also seems like she wants to keep the conversation going. So she'll ask you, oh, hey, how are you? And you might be like, hey, yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. How are you doing? And she'll be like, yeah, I'm doing really well. What have you been up to these days? You know, and it just seems like she wants to carry on the conversation. So, right, if she does this, right, and you want her back, then all you have to do is when she reaches out to you like this is to say, hey, when are you free for a catch up? It'd be nice to have a chat. I haven't spoken to you in a while, right? And if she's interested, if she really wants you back, then she'll grab onto that and she will say to you when she's available to hang out with you, okay? But again, if she's messaging you saying, hey, how are you? But at the end of that, she's asking about when can I pick up this? When can I get my toaster back? You know, something like that. Or can you please pick up so-and-so for football practice? You know, things like that. It's about that, right? That's what that message is. So it has to, when she reaches out to you, it has to be positive. So when she reaches out to you, it has to be positive, okay? So the second sign that she's still thinking about you is she interacts with you on social media. Now, you have to be a little bit careful about this, right? But if she's liking your posts, if she's commenting, if she's watching your stories, things like that, that's a positive that she probably is still thinking about you, okay? But don't take it too seriously. If you're in no contact right now and you've decided to do no contact, if she's commenting on your things, if she's liking your stories, if she's watching your stories, if she's liking your posts, doing all of the interactions basically, or doing some of them, don't take them as a sign that they've broken no contact and it's now time for you to contact them, right? If she, just leave it, right? The way that she will break no contact is if she messages you directly. So it's best to just ignore what she's doing on social media. So if she's liking your stuff, commenting, things like that, it's best to just ignore it. Now, if they say something nice, if she says something nice, like, oh, that's a nice shirt you're wearing in a picture that you posted, just say thanks. Okay, you can still reply, right? As long as it's positive. If she's saying horrible things about you, then it might be a good idea to block, right? But you need to be careful with this, especially if you're doing no contact. No contact is broken when she messages you directly. If you don't get that direct message, you have to assume that you're still in no contact. So ignore anything else that she does on social media, okay? So if she interacts with you on social media, that's another sign that she's still thinking about you, okay? So another sign that she's still thinking about you is her friends contact you and ask personal questions. Okay, so if suddenly some of her friends start reaching out to you, asking about you, asking to see if you're in a new relationship, just asking about you, it could be that your ex wants to find out more information about you but doesn't want to go through you directly, so therefore she goes for her friends, right? So if you're hearing a lot from her friends and her friends are messaging you, or perhaps you know some of her friends, like perhaps you work together and some of her friends come up to you and be like, hey, what have you been doing with your life? Are you in a new relationship now? Asking personal questions, or it seems like they're trying to fish information out of you, that's a sign that she's still thinking about you, okay? So when a mutual friend or a friend from one of her friends comes up to you and starts asking you questions, be very tactful with what you're saying, okay? Try to remain, logical, and don't let your emotions get too involved. Just try to remain a little bit mysterious. If one of her friends comes up to you and says, "Oh, are you in a new relationship?" Just be like, "Oh, wouldn't you like to know?" And kind of treat it like that. Kind of be a bit jokey, a bit playful, and things like that. But you might not want to give away too much information about yourself and be like an open book, right? Because what you really want, if you want her back, or you want her interested in you again, is for her to start reaching out to you herself, right? Don't take anything her friends do seriously, okay? So another sign that she's still thinking about you is she is suddenly everywhere you go. So if you work with her, or if you go to school with her, let's say you're a student watching this, if she's suddenly in places where you're at, even though she should be at the other side of the building or something like that, if she's suddenly really in your area and she's just about, and because maybe she knew your schedule, knows where you go for lunch, knows the department that you're in or whatever, if she's suddenly everywhere you go, even though she should really be at the other side of the building or somewhere completely different, upstairs or downstairs, somewhere else, then that's a huge sign that she's probably still thinking about you and she's trying to get into your orbit, especially if it's something that she does frequently, like every day or every other day, right? Because she might have an excuse to be around you if perhaps she needs to go somewhere where you're at, especially if you work together. But if she's doing it really frequently, then it's unlikely that's the case, right? Especially if she just seems to be there randomly and it doesn't look like she's really doing much. She's just sort of like come down to, like, I don't know, chat with someone else, but really what she wants to do is see you, right? So that's another sign that she's still thinking about you. And the fifth sign that she's still thinking about you is she phones you, she likes your posts, and she messages you, but it's by accident, right? So if you suddenly get like a phone call from her number, and maybe you text her later on saying, "Oh, did you mean to call me?" She might say, "Oh no, it was an accident," right? Because maybe, especially if it's like late at night, right? Because maybe she's been thinking about you, maybe she's been a bit lonely, so she's, been kind of dwelling about you basically, and she might have called you and then maybe panicked and like put the phone down or something when she couldn't get through to you, or she'll message you and she'll be sorry, sorry, that was meant for someone else, right? And basically what she's basically doing is maybe perhaps testing the waters to see how you'll respond if she reaches out, and she's kind of backpedaling a little bit by saying, "Oh, it was just an accident," but really it was maybe intentional, or maybe it was intentional to begin with, but then she changed her mind and got scared, or she was worried about what you would say, right? So if you get calls, comments, or she likes your posts, and she messages you and it's all by accident, and she says that it's an accident, it probably wasn't an accident, okay? So those are the signs that she's still thinking about you, okay? Now, of course, you've got some thinking to do. Like, if she does any of these things, you really need to question, okay, do I really want her back? Do I want her back in my life? Right now, if you do, then all you need to do is wait and see if she messages you. And if she does, then you can say, "Hey, I'd really love to hang out with you. I'd love to have a catch up. When are you available?" But if you're not interested and she keeps on doing these things, then by now it probably, if she is doing any of these things, then it's probably annoying to you at the moment. So what I would suggest that you do is just keep your head down, just keep on doing what you're doing with your life, and ignore these signs, and to ignore what she's doing, because if you don't want her back, then you're under no obligation to take her back, okay? Especially if you feel like it is for the best that the relationship ended, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.